Fine. Fine. I'll do it. Fuck. Alright. You want another video? You're gonna get it. But just be prepared. Cause we're gonna be talking about bed fishing 101. And there are some fat fucks that really don't like this. They don't. They'll follow you down on your Instagram. They'll type in a fake name and they'll fucking hit you with it all at once. Oh my God, it's illegal in Pennsylvania to catch those bass off a bed. Anyway, bed fishing 101. Everybody's wondering, dude, where did all the bass go? Why aren't they biting my shit? They're right there, fellas. They're right in front of you. You just got to open your eyes, all right? Christina asked me to post on the water levels when they're spawning. The biggest thing to remember is that when bass are actually ready to spawn, they're going to wait until that water level is at it's not fluctuating anymore to the point to where it's safe for them to do it. Because what will happen is, now we're talking about lakes, not tidal water. Tidal water is completely different. This is strictly for lake fishing. If you have high water, high dirty water, and then those fish go up shallow and make a push and make their bed, they might be high and dry if that water starts to fall. So they're not going to actually do it until the water level stops fluctuating and it mellows out to hit normal pool. Sometimes, some years they have to, but this year's it's not like that. They waited until the water was low enough and they were safe in that foot to 2 foot range. Most of the ones you're going to find on hard rocky bottom areas. You're not going to see them in mud. You're not going to see them in not a lot of sand around here. It's going to be more rock, hard bottom. It's got to be hard bottom. You're going to look in the 1 to 2 foot range. Sometimes even shallower than that, but mostly a foot to 2 feet. There's some big keys about bed fishing, and I've had some guys with me the past couple weeks. By the way, if you guys know any younger kids that love to fish, I started a new thing where it's Take a Kid Fishing Wednesday, and I've been taking a different kid out, getting them out on the boat to catch some whoppers. So if you know anybody that's interested in doing that, send me a message on my Instagram. Trying to get as many kids involved in fishing as we can. So people are stoked about it. These kids have a great time. They catch big bass and we have a lot of fun and laugh. It's a good time, really good time. But anyway, so back to the bed fishing. 1 to 2 foot. I usually try to wear a hood. When you pull your hood up over your head, you can see a lot better. You need polarized sunglasses. If you don't have polarized sunglasses, you might as well not even do it because you're not going to be able to see where the shit. I wear Oakley bat woofs. They're a good glass. They protect my eye all the way around, so I don't have any kind of glare coming in through the sides or anything like that. But you can use Folkleys, Spokeleys, Toakleys, Chinookies, whatever you want. As long as they're polarized glasses, they'll work fine. You don't have to buy an expensive pair. The male is the one that does most of the work. It's the opposite of what it is in real life. The male comes up, he looks for a bed, an area to bed. Normally they're going to try and be protected from as many sides as they can. So what that basically means is if you have, say you have a stump, right? They want to be protected from all 3 sides because what's going to happen is the bluegill and all the other predators try to eat them, eat their eggs. Carp will try to eat their eggs, catfish, whatever. You'll see them come up and they'll chase them off real fast when they get within a certain distance of it. But if you have a stump, right, and then say you have some grass next to that stump, most of the time the bass is going to spawn in this area right here because he's only got to watch in these directions right here. So they're smart. They try to keep their areas to where they're protected so that anywhere a lay down, a rock, they're going to spawn near something because it makes them feel more protected. They're not stupid. That way when stuff tries to ambush their beds, they can keep them away just by looking in that angle. And normally what you'll see, you could literally go anywhere right now on any bank that has hard bottom and you'll see them. There's no doubt about it. You look anywhere you can look. Just keep your eyes glued to the water, and you'll be able to see them. All right. The biggest thing that you'll notice is that, so this might be a 5-foot area, right? 5 foot around like this, right? That bass is constantly going to be patrolling this area. You'll see him come around here. He'll stop. He'll come around. He'll stop. He's looking. He'll chase a bluegill off. He'll come right back, right? So what you want to do, the biggest key, once you find them, right, the bass will let you know pretty quick whether it'll eat or not, okay? I normally don't spend very long on them, 4 or 5 casts at the most. And if I feel like they're not aggressive or they're not going to eat it, I'll just move on, because I've spent hours upon hours upon hours on fish trying to catch them that weren't going to bite in the first place. So that's one thing I'm trying to save you from, all right? On this is strictly spawn. The water temperature is steadily above 60 degrees. There's beds everywhere right now, everywhere you look. I mean, today I've probably seen 50 to 100 bass, easy. I had a Johnny Hates Fishing with me. He's a great dude, young kid, and we were looking at him all day. You know, like a couple big ones he caught in the morning. We weren't visually looking at them, but I knew that there were beds there, so we were in the right area. That's important, to be in the right area. This time of year, you do not want to be throwing something moving. I did catch a few today on a moving bait, but they weren't the right ones. The ones that are actually on bed and that are spawning are going to be, you're going to catch them fishing slow. And really, sometimes when you get, you know, those days where when those fish want to cooperate, it's easy. It's like you throw in there, they eat it, bam, you caught it, move on to the next one. Some of them, like today, we had to work 20, 25 minutes on some of them. Until you agitate it enough to eat. You catch it, you put it in a boat, you take a picture, you put it back, she goes right back to where she was. No harm, no foul. Some people disagree, but whatever. This isn't a fucking goddamn political bullshit show about fucking bass. This is talking about how to catch spawning bass. So anyway, he's got a 5-foot area, right? He's going to patrol that area. Then the female will come and find a male that she wants to mate with. She'll come, they'll both be on the bed, they'll lock on, he'll bump her side, she'll lay the eggs, he'll do whatever he does to them, and then he'll stay there and protect them, and the female will move off and go to another one. She's just going to spawn with multiple males until all her eggs are gone, and then she's going to go do her thing, post-spawn, start eating, doing whatever she does. She's a bum. All the woman does is she gets pregnant, she lays the egg, she leaves. End of story. That's it. So you're going to have, most of the ones that you're going to see by themselves are going to be males. If you see them paired up, you'll notice the male and the female, okay? The female is always going to be the bigger one. So if you see both of them there, one of them's going to be patrolling this area, but the other one is always going to be close by. So when you see one, keep your eyes peeled. You might see the other one too, okay? Typically, if you catch the male, the female will eat next. So throw the male off the other side of the boat, fish for the female. It usually works. Doesn't always. But anyway, I'm going to teach you the behavior to look for now. I don't want to make this a super long video. So you got your stump, right? You got your bass that's bedding here. What I normally do, if the bass can see you, it's normally too late. So you want to try and sneak up on them to where they can't see you. I put my trolling motor on as low as it'll go, and I barely burp it as I'm going up the bank, right? Looking. It's really not that hard. Once you find them, there will be a bunch of them in the same area, okay? This is what I'm going to do. This guy, when you got a male, yes, these are kids' markers, by the way. Yep, cool. Anyway, so if this is the bedding area right here, right, there's going to be a spot that's about the size of a dollar bill that if you hit that spot, that bass is going to eat it. I don't know what it is. There's always one key spot to where they're going to feed. Not really feed, just kill it, right? So you have that one shot. If you throw in there, they eat it, you miss them, your chance is over. That's it. As soon as they know that something's not right, that's it. You want to try and be as sneaky as you can. Keep the sun to your back. That's important. You're going to notice, like, if you move the boat just a little bit, the glare is going to be too much that you can't see, right? So that's, again, with the hood over the head, hat on your head, not like a yo boy like I got right now, but straightforward, right? Sun's out of your eyes. You're looking at the nest. You're looking at the fish. You got to have a good vision. If you don't have vision of it, you're going to mess something up, all right? I try to use a white bait or something white that I can see. the bait really doesn't matter as long as you're moving it slow. The less wind there is, the less weight you want. The more wind there is, the more weight you can get away with. I typically go the least amount of weight that I possibly can, even if it's weightless, all right? Something about weightless that will crush them this time of year. This isn't going to last long. This is going to last 3 weeks to a month at the most, okay? And it's going on right now, so now is the time. So what I'll normally do is I'll sit my boat out here, right? And if I'm visually looking at them and the sun is in their eyes against my back, it gives them a better chance to not see you because they're looking in the sun. They really can't see you. So once you see them, you find them. I'm going to start like wherever that bass, you just keep your eye on that bass and watch him for a minute. He's going to stop somewhere, right? And then you're going to throw in there. He might scoot off and he's going to stop again. Wherever he keeps stopping, keep your eyes on him. Wherever they stop is normally the sweet spot, okay? So if he's rotating and rotating and rotating and he keeps stopping here, and he's rotating and rotating and keeps stopping here, chances are that's the area you want. What you want to do now, you don't want to throw directly into the bed. Throw behind it, right? And slowly bring it up to it. And then once you get it to that sweet spot that you want it, say it's right there, all I do on slack line is just move my rod, right? I'm not pulling it. I'm not moving it at all. Sometimes they'll nose up to it. Sometimes they'll circle around it. If they circle around your bait, that fish he's gonna bite. Trust me, you just got to give it enough time. They will bite. Now, if you throw in there and that fish does not want nothing to do with it, like you throw, right? Here, let's make a new bed, right? Here's the bed. You throw in there and you're right in the center of it, right? Right in the center of the crater. And that fish is over here, right? If that fish stays there the whole time just watching it, you're pulling it, and he's not moving, he's just sitting there, chances are he's not going to bite. Don't just move on to the next one. I'll normally spend a couple casts just to see how they act. Like I said, the biggest key is if you throw in and they circle around it, your bait, they're going to eat it. So stay on that one. That one will bite. The biggest thing, guys, and this is really important, if you catch the fish, make sure you catch the fish and you put it back as fast as you can. All right? Don't keep it out of the water for long. The chances of that fish going back to that bed are pretty high if you get them back in the water fast enough. All right? That is super important. Make sure that you put the fish back, because if you don't, then you're going to fuck up the natural spawning cycle, and we don't want to do that. We want to catch them. We want to put them back. All right. And if you don't know what a bass bed looks like, I don't really have time to explain all that. So just the biggest thing, like I said, sunglasses, hood over your head, sun to your back, hard bottom, and look for an area where they're going to be protected. All right. Those are the biggest keys. The baits that you throw, it doesn't really matter. Soft plastics, moving something slow are probably the best. A drop shot is awesome because it's nosed up to it. You don't have to necessarily go to a pocket. There's going to be plenty of bass that spawn on the main lake. Actually, I think the bigger ones actually spawn on the main lake. Sometimes you're not going to be able to see them, but now the water's clear enough to where you can see them. The thing that's cool about watching them is that you start to learn which ones will bite and which ones won't, not to waste your time with. You also learn how aggressive they are and how they'll chase off their prey. It's a cool time of year, but even if you just watch them, even if you don't want to catch them and you just want to watch them, it's an awesome experience. So I would recommend it to anyone. Again, water levels will be stable. They won't spawn until the water levels are stable. They're going to be in 1 foot to 2 foot, hard bottom, around something, and super shallow, 1 foot to 2 foot. Like if you see them and they see you, it's too late. So try to ease your way into there. Figure out where the beds are, cast to the beds, make a couple casts, see how the fish reacts. If the fish doesn't react crazy and he doesn't circle your bait and he's not interested in your bait at all, move on to the next one, because there will be one that will bite. I mean, you might fish for 50 beds a day and only catch 10 of them. It might even be more than that. So it's going to happen a lot to where you don't get bit, don't get frustrated. Try to use a bait that you can see, soft plastic, any kind of soft plastic will work. Alpha Baits, he's got some good soft plastics. And use the lightest weight that you can possibly get away with. All right. So those are all the tips that I got for you now. Try to get you out there and watch them, see their behavior, and see how you guys do. And don't tell anybody you're bed fishing, or somebody might get offended. See you guys.